Hello everyone, my name is April Watkins and I am a Close to My Heart independent consultant, and I am going to show you today how to make this card. It uses the current September 2015 Stamp of the Month Paper Garden. That's what it looks like. And it also uses paper from the Zoe paper pack. So what you're going to need to get started on this is a card base. I use the White Daisy card base. You can actually buy our card bases in sets of 50 with envelopes for $14.95. They come in the value packs. This is how I buy them. This is how I make a lot of my cards. In the end, it's just so much easier for me to just have the envelopes already available. You're also going to need a base from the Zoe paper pack. Zoe paper pack retails for $9.95, and this piece is cut to 4 by 5 1/4. You're going to need a piece of Glacier cardstock that is included in the Zoe paper pack, and this one is cut to 3 1/2 by 4. You're also going to need a piece of White Daisy cardstock, also included in the Zoe paper pack, cut to 3 1/4 by 3 3/4. And the final thing you're going to need is some of this new green shimmer trim. I just love this color. It's available in both the Holiday Expression and the current catalog. Our shimmer trims come in spools of 5 yards, and they are $4.95 a piece. So let's get started. Oh, you know what? Forgot. We're also going to need 2 of our ink pads. We need the Sorbet and we need the pear. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up our lovely stamp set here. Like I said, this is the Paper Garden stamp set. It's compatible with the Artiste Cricut cartridge, which is one of our older cartridges. We are going to use this little stamp right here. And I'm using our largest size block. I just think it fits really well on there. There's plenty of extra room. What's great about Close to My Heart, if you're not familiar with them, with us, our blocks are clear, our stamps are clear. You can see exactly where you're making your image, so you're going to get a really crisp, clean stamp every time. They also, each of our stamp sets comes with a foam backing in the envelope. You're going to want to put that underneath of the paper that you're stamping on. It helps absorb the shock of the actual stamp pressure, and that really helps get a crisp, clean image. And so we're going to take the smaller White Daisy cardstock. We're going to go ahead and open both of our pear and our Sorbet. I fell apart. That's not supposed to happen. Let's try that again. They click over here on the side and they spin around. I gave it a little too hard of a tug, but they go right back together. Okay, so for this card, if you see here, at the bottom, I actually dipped it in the pear, and then I dipped the top in the Sorbet. So we're going to do that. So first, I can see that this part of my flowers, I want that to be in Sorbet. So I'm going to dip only the bottom part of my stamp in my pear ink pad. Because of the way that this created where the colors crossed over, it kind of made it look really nice, and I didn't really overly worry about where I was actually putting the ink. But you're going to want to make sure whenever you use this technique, that you go with your lighter color first, so that if you do touch the ink pads together, you're not transferring darker ink onto a lighter ink pad. That will ruin your ink pad. So, as you can see, the ink is filling up on here, and because we have our clear blocks on either side, I can see how much ink I'm actually putting on there. And I'm just going to go ahead and give that another dip. And this is all you're doing. You're just giving a dip, give it a little pressure, little twists around, and now I'm going to grab the Sorbet. And for this, I really want just the top part of the stamp. I want where I didn't get the pear. And like I said, if you cross over into them, we've started with our lighter color, so there's no harm, no foul on this. And I definitely did cross over, but I think it's gonna get a really nice image. Now we're gonna take our stamp, and as you can see, because we're clear again, you can line that up exactly where you want it. Now for those of you at home who are participating in my online parties, you've already received the stamped image, but I wanted you to see how easy that was. There you have it. So easy. I could see perfectly where I wanted it. I pressed down, making sure that I had my foam pad behind it. It soaks the ink right up. Close to My Heart's papers are specifically designed to suck in the ink so that you get a very clear image. Because these inks are water-based, it's also already dry. No smudging, which is awesome. Now to clean our stamps, I recommend our spritz cleaner. You just give it a little spritz. And then I recommend grabbing one of our brushes and you just wipe that right off. And depending on the color you're using, you may have some staining on your stamp. This one has some staining, but that is not going to transfer onto any of your other images. So you don't need to worry about that. We're gonna put that right back on the envelope and move that out of the way. So now we're gonna build our card. So if you can see here, the green shimmer trim is running behind everything, and it actually tucks behind the Zoe. I've actually cut this at 4.5 inches, so it's longer than the Zoe paper pack, so that I can tuck it behind. But I recommend doing that prior to gluing down the Zoe. And I did not measure how high up this is, so we are going to do that real quick. It looks like I went just under an inch on that. By the way, this mat here that I'm using, it's our Versa mat. Highly recommend it. It's really great for what we're going to do right now, which is lining things up. I'm going to pull the backing off of the shimmer trim. You'll see it's got a white backing. This is self-adhesive shimmer trim. It is really awesome. The thing I really like about it is that it gets you the shine of glitter and the look of glitter without the mess of glitter. And it just pulls right off. I'm not a fan of glitter just because of that reason. It just gets so messy, especially if you have kids. It's just everywhere. So we're just gonna line this up. We want a straight line across. And you see how I use my Versamat to do that. And now we're just gonna pull it up and tuck these two back behind. Now you do not have to do this. The great thing about the shimmer trim is we could dovetail the ends of these very easily. So it's kind of however you want to do it. I wanted for this particular card to tuck it behind. Now we're going to add some adhesive. You can use any adhesive you want. Close to My Heart has some really great adhesive options. I love my ATG gun and I'm kind of obsessed with it, so that's what we're going to use for this card for me. And now we're just going to line this up so it is centered in the card on the card base. And next we need our glacier. And actually I'm going to adhere the white daisy to the glacier first, just so I can make sure that I get that really nice and centered on there. And again, we're talking about water-based inks, so they're already dry. You do not have to worry about smearing your image. I can run my fingers over it. It's not going to cause any damage. And now we are going to get our glacier on here. And this is just going to lay right over top of that green and centered on the card. And there you have it. Now I didn't add a sentiment to this card. I wanted to leave it basic, especially for those people who were getting a sample of this card from me. But you could add any sentiment you wanted right here. Thinking of you, thank you. It's blank inside. You could put a sentiment in there. Personally, I actually really like this card blank. It's a great thinking of you card, but I like to keep a lot of cards blank so that I have them for whatever occasion I've got going on. You never know when you're going to need a card and you don't have the time to make it. So you've got a few blank cards lying around. That's what you can use them for. So right now, our 2 catalogs that are available, we have our Holiday Expressions. This catalog is only good to the end of the year. That would be December 31st is when this one goes away. And it is full of items that are specific, geared more towards Christmas and Thanksgiving, or I'm sorry, Christmas and Halloween. We don't have a Thanksgiving paper this year. We have a fall paper, and that is actually in the other catalog that I'll show you in a second. So, like I said, mostly Halloween and Christmas. Yes, we do have some Thanksgiving stamps in there, but here's our Christmas. Great Picture My Life set. I really love that set. Really cute stamps in this one. Base and Bling for Christmas. And our other catalog that's active right now is our Annual Inspiration. It doesn't come spiral bound like mine is. I just chop mine up because I have to keep it all year. But really great products in here. I'm just going to show you Zoe real quick since that's what we were talking about. Here's the Zoe paper pack. On this page you have the Zoe paper pack, the Zoe compliments. These are new compliments this year. They come with stickers, but also with some vellum and craft die cut pieces. Really great, really ups the ante on your artwork. Also the Zoe assortment, and you'll notice we have a new coral shimmer trim, beautiful color.